welcome back to my channel. I've made some trades today. I actually made about $170, which I'm pretty happy with. I got in on Nvidia. They took a huge dive when the market opened. So I was hoping that it would try to fill this gap. There's a pretty good gap here, and then also this gap has not filled as well. So I still think we can get back up to here. I'm hoping next week sometime we'll make some good moves to the upside. It looks like over the last month it's definitely recovered from the big huge tariff dip. It's on its way back up, but it's kind of consolidated at this point ever since about May 13th. And now it's actually just over the last week it's kind of gone back down. But I still think we're in a bull market. If we look at the bigger picture, I think we'll eventually, all the analysts say that Nvidia is 165 is going to be the target price over the next year. So we're way below that. So I think eventually we're going to go back up, and we got a couple pretty big gaps to fill. We got this one here, and we got this one here. So I'm hoping next week things will start going back up, and we'll get some good calls in there. So early this morning, I was kind of monitoring. I was waiting for this moving average. I knew this 200-day moving average, we probably weren't going to break that. But I think it's let me see what I got here. The 20 and the 50-day moving average. So this is the 20-day moving average, and then the 50-day moving average is the orange line. And I noticed they crossed right around in this area. So I used this Fibonacci off the high and then brought it to here where that crossed at. And then I got in, I believe it was right around in here. It's hard to remember when you're not doing this live, which I want to do eventually, but it'd be sweet to stream on YouTube making horrible decisions in the stock market. But yeah, so I believe this is where I got in at. No, that doesn't make sense with the time frame. So I ended up leaving the house. Let me see. Oh, this is a 5-minute time frame. It was a 1-minute time frame. It was right here, I believe. So this crossover is where I got in at. This makes a little more sense. I did wait till the market was open for at least 30 minutes. That's part of this strategy too, is you don't want to try to get in like in this area because the market's just kind of all over the place. But once the market starts consolidating, then you can start making some moves, and I believe that's right where I got in at. Let me try to remember exactly where this was at here. I believe it was right in here, because we see the crossover start to happen right in here. I believe I put my Fibonacci maybe in this area, or I want to say maybe even in this area. And you can see the crossover. I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see where I'm pointing. So there's a recent high, and then there's the crossover. This is where I put my Fibonacci, I believe, if I remember right. And you can see I got in right here at 131.22. I made 2 calls that were about 70% in the money. Again, this is how I have it set up. I have in the money set up. As one of my things here, and then I did a 14-day out. My thinking was if I did a 7-day out, we have our earning call next week for Nvidia, and I didn't want to get caught up in that. So I did 14 days out instead, just in case this thing started to go way back down, because it did hit like $80 at one point way back, and they're starting to get tariff talks again with Europe and all that. So I was a little bit leery of that. So I did a 14-day out, and I did a 70% in the money call. Not 70% break even or profit chance, but 70% in the money. You can see it here as one of my filters. And that's what seems to work for me, about 70%, and that gives me about 1,000. It's about $1,000 to get in, and I made four calls. I made three that were around 1,000, and then one that was around 800. So this one is a little bit lower. It's about 56% in the money. Um, so yeah, I did my first three at 131.22, and then I did another one at 131.06, and then it kind of just rode. I didn't set a stop loss because, like I said, I'm okay with it um, going up because we're so far in the money, and um, my expiration date is a couple weeks out. Now, if we got down to, I mean, if we broke the low of the day, then I probably would have got out, but yeah, that would have been really bad. But as of right now, I'm pretty confident the stock's going to continue to go up. I think we're at a new low right now, just because of the last two gaps. So we got to fill this gap, and we got to fill this gap. Um, so yeah, I got in there, and then me and my son went to Prescott over in Arizona, and we're looking to sell our RV. So we don't use it. If you know anyone that wants an RV, we got a good deal. It's like a $40,000 RV that we're selling for like 20,000. So um, we went and talked to a dealership to see if they'd give us like 17,000 for it. So I haven't got a call back, but we'll see. Um, so yeah, I set it and then I forget it. And then I just let it ride. And then we were looking at RVs, And then right around this time, I'd hit this take profit level. And what I do is I go on my phone. I wish I could show you easily, but I go on my phone. I go to my simulated returns. I put the price at that 131.66, which is my take profit price, and then it tells me how much the actual contract will be worth at that point. And then I set it to sell, so it just automatically sells when the price hits this 131.66, and it's sold right around this area. And I was actually on the phone with my wife, and I said, "Hey, I just made $170 in the stock market, and I wasn't even looking at my phone or anything. I just made it automatically." And she said, "That's pretty sketchy. What is? I don't even know what that means." And I said, "It is sketchy, but if you know what you're doing and you're safe, it's alright." So 2 days in a row with wins. So I'm pretty happy. Um, I think I can repeat this strategy. I'm hoping that the stock market kind of turns around. You can see the actual 30-day, or I'm sorry, the 200-day moving average. This is actually where you would want to get in if you were fully following the strategy. When this starts to flow all in the same direction. So a Fibonacci, if I was actually at my desk, I probably would have put my Fibonacci here, and I would have done another. I would have done a call here on this candle. I would have done a call here. I would have done a call here. This stop loss would have hit. I probably wouldn't have taken it, and I probably would have made even more money. But I wasn't at my computer. This candle right here would have been awesome. Um, but it's whatever. That's what I like about this is you can kind of automate it and don't have to be sitting and looking at it if you don't have, or if you can't. But the plan is once I do go full time, if I can go full time, is I'll be watching the stock market from 6:30 to 1:30 Arizona time, and hopefully make some consistent money. So I think this strategy is going to keep working for me. So I'm excited to try it next week. I may go back to work next week, so it may be a little difficult. I can pull this up at work and mess with it at work, but I try not to just because people watching, people I'm figuring out are kind of, I don't know, cruddy, if you ask me. Uh, but yeah, so if I lose my job, then I'll be doing this, making videos and doing stock market stuff. I would rather be doing that. So hopefully this takes off and I continue to make money, and we'll see. But I'm gonna try to show what I do as far as setting my stop losses and my take profit. My take profit. So this 132.26. We have to remember that 132.26. Here, I'll pull up a notepad. 132.26. That would be my take profit, and then I would go. My phone is ringing. 1 second. That's my wife. You can wait for a sec. So I would get this price here, 132.26, and then I'd actually go in. So I do this on my phone. It's a little harder to show on here, but basically what I do is I come into the here, and then again, this is all on my phone. I'm not used to using it on here. Say we have this one here. We'll add it to watch list. Something went wrong. Oh, it's probably because it's for today. 14 days out, and then in the money, I will say there. It's actually right around here. I get in. Here's one on my watch list. We'll remove it, and then we'll add it. Okay, so I would come in here. I would go to it, and then I would go to simulated returns. Wherever that's at. Where is that at? Yeah, this is why I like using it on the phone, because it's, I don't know, where is it at? I just went into it. Options, watch list. All right, let's add a different one. Maybe that'll give it to me. Say this one. That's 0 days out. Yeah, the phone is so much better. Let's go to this one. Add to watch list. View watch list. I had it earlier. Let me see. There's a new one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I would go in there, simulate my returns, and then remember that take profit amount, that 132.26. I would put this up to that, whatever that price is. This doesn't make sense because of what the market's at right now, but say it went up to 132.26. I would come up here and see this estimated contract price, 1049, and then I would go in and I would actually sell the contract. I would go in here, instead of buying it, you would actually go in and set a limit price, and you would set it to that you would set it to that price, that 10 whatever it ends up being when you simulate the return. And that's what I did, and then I went out in the field, or I went out the house, and then it automatically triggered, and I made my $170. So, but I'm going to try it again on Tuesday. The markets are closed on Monday for the holiday, but Tuesday I will be at it again, hopefully. So if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments. If you have any recommendations, both for the stock market, YouTube, anything, I'm trying to learn both. So definitely leave them in the comment field. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.